Another week, another fantastic video. Hi, my babies, Javi here. I hope you're all staying safe in such chaotic times. This week I'm bringing you another art video of me working on a special project for EXO. This year they're celebrating their 8th anniversary, which is happening on April 8th. Now I had to search all this up because I am still very baby to EXO, so I had to get my facts straight. But yes, their 8th anniversary's happened. And since I'm fully in love with them, I knew I had to do something. What it was, I had no idea. So we went along and just dived in. So since this was my first anniversary with them, I was really excited. I really wanted to do something. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. So I knew I had to do something. So I had a few days. If I'm not mistaken, I think I had like 3 or 4 days before the anniversary, so I had to get to it. I believe I did the whole weekend working on all these portraits. I believe I talked about it in one of my earlier videos, but I joined EXO when they were doing their comeback for Obsession, the Obsession comeback and all that. And one of the main reasons why I like it is because I like dark and twisted things. So the fact that they were basically their dark selves in this comeback, it struck a really big chord with me, and the obsession fully took over from the beginning. Okay, but since that was my first comeback, I really wanted to focus on that. And I know since Dio and Schumann weren't there, I wanted to include them in, well, Schumann, Dio, and Lei. Since they weren't in that comeback, I really wanted to do something with all 9 of them. So I took it upon myself to do the portraits and then compose them into one big piece. But before we continue the video, very quickly, I just want to let you guys know that my shop is open and I have face masks and prints and pins and a bunch of other art goodies that I've been working on for a while now. So if you have a chance, go to inkdies.bigcartel.com, check it out, browse a little bit, see what you like. Right now I'm showing you a few of my items. I have the mask, the face mask, Xoxo portrait kit, Black Swan lenticular card, which are all like my newest items. So check those out. I try to update it as frequently as I can, but sometimes I'm in the middle of 100 projects, so I really don't. But most likely all these new stuff that I'm working on will be on the shop pretty soon, so keep your eyes open for that. And yes, let's go back to the main video. Okay, so like I was saying before, so this project sprouted a few days before their anniversary. So I really wanted to do something. I was very excited to do something. I needed to do something since they're one of my old groups. So I decided, like I said, to go with the obsession theme. And I'm really surprised at myself at the fact that I got 9 portraits done within that time frame. And I just did. So it's very unfortunate that 3 of the members weren't able to take part of this comeback. I absolutely adored this comeback, mainly because it was my first one, but regardless of the matter, I've done my research, I've seen all of their stuff. This is honestly one of my favorite comebacks for the fact that they're like darker versions of themselves, and I would really have loved to see Theo, Schumann, and Lei taking part of it. So since they weren't, obviously they didn't have portraits, so I tried to come up with my own versions of them in their dark forms, trying to incorporate their powers and stuff like that to make it a little bit of extra pizzazz. So I decided to make a big poster with all of them together. When I'm working, I usually try to get reference pictures and items, something that I could, get a feel for. So for this project, I had the Power Repackage album, the comic book, version type album next to me, and the Obsession album, of course. So I incorporated, both the ideas and came up with this one big project, poster, concept thing, beauty. Yeah. Most of the time going into things, I really have no plan, especially now that I've been creating a lot of stuff digitally. Before I used to sketch it out or write out the idea that I had so I could construct from it. Recently, what I've been doing is just been going with the flow. I started doing the portraits. I finished all the portraits. From that, I knew I wanted to put them all together in one piece, but I didn't know how. So looking over my albums, I saw the Power Repackaged album, like I told you guys that I had next to me, and I really liked the way that the comic book feel to it was, how all of them were grouped together in this very heroic way, and that's where I got the idea to combine them together for this one, and basically do the same thing, but obviously in their darker, more twisted forms. So you basically, if you put both covers together, you'll see the resemblance that I'm talking about, um, and I think it worked pretty great for this piece. I think the biggest challenge of this project was to come up with the forms for Lei, Dio, and Schumann. Obviously, you guys know that they didn't have part in this comeback, so there was no real image to go by. You know, I did a little research on Instagram and Twitter. There are a lot of fan artists that I follow that have done their versions of the Obsession comeback for them. Well, I've seen for Schumann and Dio. I haven't seen so much for Lei. So I didn't know where to pick and choose from. Obviously, my mind goes 110 miles an hour when I'm creating stuff, but I needed to make it look good. I needed to make it look cohesive. So that was the biggest challenge for me. I'm sure, like every other K-pop fan out there, I have hundreds upon hundreds of saved pictures on my phone and my iPad and my laptop. Obviously, I use them all for reference pictures. The other times, I just keep them because they're pretty and I like them. So in this instance, I was looking through my phone, and I did find that I had a really pretty one of Lei. That he had the same face painting he had that I drew him with. He had it for a performance that he did. I don't know what performance. I don't know what it was. A while ago. But he looked really killer, and I thought that would be a great way to express him as his EXO persona. So, which is why he has that. Dio and Schumann, I just used reference pictures, and I tried to go basically to play off with everybody else. A while ago back, I did start drawing the Obsession characters. I did Suo, I did Kai, and I did a version of Dio. Just using one of the pictures that I have saved as reference. I manipulated that one. I gave him a sexier look, an open ripped shirt with red veins all over and red eyes, and more of like a goth look to it. So like, obviously, you know, this is just what my mind came up with. So I wanted to play off that version for here, and I really like the fact that it gave him like a dark military look, because the reference picture I used for him was from Don't Mess Up My Tempo with one of the versions. I'm not going to say the names because I don't want to get it wrong, because I'm a mess with the names. So we're going to leave it at that. But yeah, but I incorporated the red eyes again, and I think I gave him a tattoo. Yeah, I gave him a tattoo. You could barely see it on his neck, but I gave him the same tattoo in the other portrait at that. If you want to see the other portrait, you can go to my Instagram, and you can check it out there because I posted it up there a while ago. Schumann, on the other hand, he is ice, so I gave him a more cold look, frozen. Like, I think his skin color, I did it a little bit more icy, and his eyes blue, and with blue veins instead of red for this one. And then Lei, I didn't do much with Lei because he's light. No, he's healing. So I did the face paint. I think that was enough for him. He looks really pretty and dark and mysterious, just like that. So that's all I did for him, and I think it worked out perfectly. The other challenging part was to come up with the background. I normally don't do backgrounds for whatever reason. I just focus on the main image, which is usually the portrait or the main focus of the image. And the background I really leave empty. So for this one, I really wanted to focus on making something that matched their aesthetic in the dark, mysterious thing. And I don't remember where I saw it, but something with geometric circles I saw, and I thought what cool way, I thought it would be a cool idea to incorporate that into the background and make it look like, a mysterious symbol. And you guys won't really notice because they're covering it, but I made an L for EXOL in it, but you'll see like a straight line down and across. That's a little hidden treasure for you guys that you won't know unless you watch this video, so you're welcome. And with anything else I do, I like getting feedback while I'm working on it by my two main biatches, which is my sister and my soulmate. So that's with who I'm talking to right now because I constantly want feedback. My sister helped me rearrange them, um, and my soulmate helps me with like the little finer details, which sometimes I completely miss, but they're a big help when it comes to me creating stuff. So right now I'm working on the back, like I told you guys, and which took me a little bit, but at the end result came out really perfect, really the way um, that I was envisioning in my mind. So unfortunately, my phone did die while I was trying to finish this bad boy up, so you guys don't get like the full end result. But well, the end result you'll see, but you don't get to see the ending process because at this point I'm basically finished with it. I'm just working on the background and making sure everything works, everything's cohesive, everything's perfect, everything's beautiful, and all that stuff. So at the end of the video, you will get a nice little display of the final poster. I'm not sure if I'm making prints of it. It depends on the reaction and how I feel, but I'll let you guys know. So besides that, thank you for wasting 11 minutes of your life listening to my bullshit and looking at my art process. I really enjoy making these videos, so most likely I'm going to do more and see how the reaction goes for them. Like always, if you have any suggestions, or if you guys want to just talk or leave feedback or just a little bit of love, you can comment down below in the comment section. I try to read and engage everything. If not, you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at inkdice28. I'll link them down below. I'll also put down my art shop where you can go purchase some goodies, and then my Patreon if you want to support me. If Patreon is another video that I'll do that I'll talk more into detail with it. So I'll put that down so you guys can check it out just because. And like always, don't forget to subscribe and turn your little bell notifications on so you know when I'm posting my crap. Like always, be safe, be careful, be clean, please. And yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.